Gentlemen, let's talk about Son transferring to LAFC. Is Son to LAFC the best transfer in MLS history?
Damn.
You have to think about Ibrahimovic before you jump
Wow.
to that.
I kind of wasn't expecting that first name to be brought out, but
I mean,
okay.
you gotta mention Ibrahimovic. You gotta mention David Beckham and
Messi?
and Messi. So I
DePaul?
was thinking of
DePaul's
past.
up there?
Carlos Vela. If we're
DePaul,
really
DePaul. I
gonna,
mean, kind of.
Carlos
I
Vela,
would
yeah.
put the others, but Messi. I mean, like I wouldn't say the best. I think there are some other players I would put. This don't have the potential to be maybe the most impactful signing we've seen in a while, at least. Yes, because like yes, physically he doesn't have any more of the top 5 leagues. Like it's like it's not that, but like it's the MLS. Physically, he'll be fine. He's still fast. I mean, he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still fast. And technically, that is never going to be taken away from him until he turns 70, 80. So he's got
Jesus.
he's got that on lockdown.
He's gonna have a career like that one Japanese guy. I forget his name.
oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's like
yeah,
50. He's like 50.
So I think like and Ibra didn't win really anything at Galaxy. Yes, because Galaxy had a terrible team at the time, but he didn't win anything. Messi hasn't won any, like the MLS. I know he won the I don't remember what it's called right now, but
Leagues Cup.
the Leagues Cup. Thank you, but he hasn't
Doesn't
won.
count.
No, it doesn't. But I know according to FIFA, it does though.
yeah, people will say, but that's what I'm saying. Like LFC, they're a solid team right now. I know they're not like the best in the league like they were maybe a few years ago, but they're still a very solid team. They could still, I mean, in MLS, you can still pull out a great results even with just solid teams because how close usually the teams are. Son is just that level. Like he's just that level of an attack that will scare any MLS defender besides maybe the very best in the league. And like I said, physically, he's still got it. Like I know doesn't have it against the best of the best, but this is the MLS. He's gonna destroy defenses, and he will be so dominant in shooting because he can shoot from anywhere on any foot. And like I think I was talking to actually my boss. He's a Seattle Sounders fan, and I was telling him that like he has a great chance. I know he's joining like late into this one, but he has a great chance next season winning the Golden Boot, the MLS Golden Boot, so
Ooh.
easily.
But I guess it remains to be seen where Son's going to be playing, right? Because you have Buanga on the left wing, and who is arguably the best, one of the best left wingers in the entire league, if not just players as a whole. Do you put Son at the right? Do you play him at a 10? I've seen people say play him at the 9, which I disagree with. But so I guess it does remain to be seen where he's going to be at. But what I do see happening is a lot of assists, which is very, very key. I would have loved to see Son and Giroud play together, but so be it. I'm okay with Giroud not being here anymore. Okay, not top 1, but is Son a guaranteed top 3 transfer in MLS history to you guys?
Guaranteed?
I'm
I
gonna
wouldn't say
say
guaranteed. Yeah.
no.
All right.
I gotta see the brother
Alright.
play first. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He could
Well,
get injured.
just off the bat, just
Yeah. No,
from
I
this
guess
perspective, obviously, because
no.
it could change.
That Carlos Vela bias is coming in hot for me. You know what I mean? So no, it's top 5 for me. I think
Top 5, okay.
Top
That was my
5.
next question. You guys will put him in the top 5 transfers of all MLS
Yeah, I mean it's the
history?
most expensive, so it's gotta be a high
Yeah,
up
I
there.
guess he
Most
doesn't be up there.
He's
Yeah.
not far off of his prime. Like it's he's just a little bit into his older years. He could still stay for another couple of years. He does bring a huge influence of Korean fans because they love him, and that would be great just for the league in general. So it's definitely a very impactful transfer. And obviously, the only hope, the only like caveat that I hope doesn't happen is that he gets injured.
Ugh.
I will say he hasn't been
That's
injured too
possible.
much when playing for Tottenham. He's been pretty good at staying consistent and available, which has always been so great about him. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen now that he's getting older, that he still stays available. But we've seen it with these older players; they pull an ACL, and all of a sudden it's just like it's a long road back. So I just hope he stays healthy because even if he's playing for LAFC, I mean I love my boy too much. I love to see him play.
Yeah, for the viewers who have not watched us cover MLS before, obviously I'm an LAFC fan. Andres is pretty ambiguous, and Galaxy right now, and Diego is a pretty big
Hey, I
Galaxy
watched all the
fan. But
League Cup games for Galaxy. All right, relax.
Oh.
There's no need for that.
Diego's also a Tottenham fan too, as sure as you can tell. So Lloris and Son being on
Right.
the same team is absolutely amazing. I mean, I guess one thing we have to mention is the pressure. I like there's pressure, but there's really not, because yes, on paper there's a lot of pressure. He's the most expensive transfer in MLS history. by a good margin too, by a good few million. The second highest was, Latelath at Atlanta. And beginning of the season, we did our predictions, and I was throwing him in the newcomer of the season. I was throwing him in the Golden Boot race, and he's been absolutely dog water for them. So when you look at it like that, there's a lot of pressure on Son to perform at LAFC. But at the same time, can I really sit here and say that Son is feeling any bit of pressure to perform at a top level? No, I really don't. I really don't think so. I mean, most top players coming here as a retirement age won't be feeling that way, but I do hope it works out really well. Again, and Andres mentioned this already too. I think this might be the most important transfer of all time in terms of a cultural impact, because, LA, South Korea, it has the biggest South Korea diaspora in the entire country. So obviously that was a huge factor in him coming to LAFC. That in itself is a really, really big deal, because MLS, you want to be appealing to other top cultural groups in the country, right? That is just one of the ways to grow your appeal. Has there really been any South Korean representation in MLS? Not particularly, at least not at a really, really top level. So this is a great thing. And not only just for South Korea, I feel like for a lot of Asian fans in general. I tweeted the other day, I don't remember if I deleted it or not, but I tweeted the other day, I would very happily be misrepresented as South Korean when I go to these games. And, I feel like...
I did see that. I did see that.
Good to know. And, that's fine. That's fine. From an Asian perspective, not South Korean, obviously, I'm Filipino. From an Asian perspective, I think it's really, really cool for like the new big name being from an Asian country. And he, not even arguably, he's the greatest Asian player in the history of football. I think is absolutely a very, very important signing. Does he immediately put LAFC in a top 2 or 3 contender spot in the West? And you can argue maybe they already are on the outskirts of that. Does he immediately throw them into that conversation before he plays at all?
I mean, like, obviously I'm not as aware of the team as a whole. I'm not sure how well your defense is really performing and all that. So, you can speak to that. But
Eddie Segura.
but the MLS is one of those leagues that you can kind of get away with a makeshift defense if your attack is just blazing. Like it's just so like powerful. You can really get away with an okay defense just because it's the MLS. You can kind of do that. We've seen teams do that before. We see Inter Miami do it all the time. So, like, I think even if, like you said, you can say, Elijah, you can have criticisms of your team's defense or midfield or whatever. But I think even then, if Son is fit and fully firing, and they put him in the best spot on the team to get the best out of him, then 100% that brings him the top 3. I know you can talk about all these great players that come in, like Gareth Bale came in, and I would argue that Gareth Bale was overall in his career maybe a better player than Son, but he was also at that time more past his prime than Son is now, and definitely not the same player that he used to be. So Son is coming in here ready to perform. Like he's not coming here to take it light. That's not Son. He doesn't do that. So he's going to come in, he's going to give his all, and I really think that that's going to be dangerous. And if maybe it takes this season for him to get, I think he'll adapt very quickly to the team. But let's say the manager's still figuring out how to work it out. I think next season, if we don't see him explode this season, next season.
Well, see, that's what I was going to mention real quick, because I forgot to bring this up earlier as well. One, I want to know what they told him to get him over here, because Dolo, you can have your opinion on him. First 3 seasons of Dolo I loved. Recently I don't. But he's leaving at the end of the season. That is for sure. He said that a couple months ago. We've known that for months now. So I'm curious what LAFC had told Son about this whole managerial process and who they're looking at bringing in, because why would you go to a team where the coach is gone within a few months? If Dolo was staying one more season, or at least we didn't know how long he was going to stay, but indefinitely, I'd be a little bit worried, because I don't think Dolo is a great coach anymore, and I don't think he'd use Son to the best of his ability. So I'm really interested in seeing who they bring in. A big name that a lot of people are talking about, and not guaranteed, but it's just a really speculative and would be amazing, is Jose Mourinho after his time at Fenerbahce. I could see it because, obviously he's not a top 5 league coach as much anymore. He's working his way around the world, doing his challenge with other countries. Maybe he brings them in, and that'd be absolutely amazing. But obviously, it remains to be seen what kind of coach they bring in for next season, and that is going to have an obvious, huge huge impact on what they do here. I'm looking at Zinedine Zidane. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be a. I know one person watching that's like, just went to the comments and was like, wait, what the fuck? These guys don't know what they're talking about. I could even say which account I think it's going to be. No, I'm not going to do that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, a lot remains to be seen how Son is going to fit in this team, because I would say that LAFC is already pretty blessed with wingers. You have, like I said, Dennis Bouanga on one side, arguably one of the best players in the MLS. Not even arguably. He is one of the best players in MLS. Maybe a top 2 player in LAFC history. And then you have Devin Martinez on the right, who is an up-and-coming 19-year-old, one of the top sub-20 wonder kids in the entire world. Probably the top, if one of the top Venezuelan wonder kids. So, like, where does Son fit there? I really don't think the 9 is the answer. Can he succeed there? Without a doubt. With his talent, without a doubt. But do I want to subject him to the MLS physicality because center backs don't know how to defend? Not necessarily. I'd rather him like at a creative 10 or whatnot. But still, going to be absolutely amazing to watch. LAFC is on the up right now with the signing alone. As a Galaxy fan, Diego, how does it make you feel?
I mean, it really doesn't bother me, to be honest with you. But if I were to say purely as a Galaxy fan, obviously disappointing to see a great player go to you guys. I mean, again, I'm really actually like, I can't be mad at him. He's forever right here. He did everything. And I was like legit tearing up at his crying, like when he was crying in his leaving announcement video. I was like, man, that man's special, bro. He's just like never any drama, the most just kind of like good vibes, and he is passionate. Like, people were criticizing him when he was crying after he lost to City in the Carabao Cup final a few years ago. They were like, man, like, it's just the Carabao Cup final. Like, dude, that's just him. Like, he puts it all on the line, and even if it's like a smaller cup, like, he will still be upset that he didn't get that. So I think his mentality is just, that's what makes him such a great player. His mentality, along with his technical ability and his physical ability, is just like, he's unmatched. So I'm looking forward to really. I can't lie. I'm looking forward to him doing well. Like,
Diego's definitely going to a game. Let's be real here.
Well, when Giroud came, Diego and I were at that game at his very first introduction,
and Lloris was there, which is great because obviously Lloris in Tottenham. But I do want to go see someone play, whether it means having to go see LAFC. I probably won't see them come to the Galaxy, to be honest, because those tickets always sell out. So might have to go to an LAFC game at some
anymore.
Point. Not as much anymore. That's true, but
still expensive.
Yeah.
Still expensive though. Yeah, I mean, I guess just with that alone, right? That's one more person who's going to go to LAFC game, not to mention all the countless people, which sucks for me because tickets are going to get more expensive. But yeah, I'm willing to pay it because I need to see that man play. If you have an opinion on Son going to LAFC and MLS in general, let us know in the comments down below. If you guys want us to stream some MLS games, let us know as well, because we are looking into that a little bit. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the transfer as a whole, and subscribe if you want more MLS, LAFC, Son based content. Absolutely do so. Hopefully see you guys in future videos. My name was Elijah. That was Andres and Diego. See you guys in the future. Take care.